This tutorial explores running a script over a database query. First thing we do is we bring up the database. Here's the HyperChem database. We go and open it and get the big database, which has got 10,000, 11,000 molecules in it. Now we want to run a query. Let's go do something simple again. We'll run a, let's see, we'll do an SQL search for molecules that have a name that begins with ACET, like that, and who have who have two carbons. See how many of these we get. 53. Okay, well, let's make this a little more explicit. Cetal, and run that again. 6, that's fine. Small database. So here's a database. What we want to do is a small set of molecules that we're going to do calculations on this set on this query. So what we're going to do is to run a script, and we can either run a script over this query, which would just do whatever the script tells us to do, or we could run a script, and when the script is over, we could go retrieve the HIN file from HyperChem into the database. The database generally here does not have any HIN files, it just has a 2D drawing of this molecule and no three-dimensional information. But if we do this, we will get the three-dimensional structure back into the database and can look at it later at any time. Another thing that we won't do right here now is to run the script as a query. That is, the script can set a variable yes or no, and when we're finished running this script over the whole database, it will delete those records that don't satisfy the script criterion, and we'll basically do a completely arbitrary query of some sort of the database. That is, the query has to satisfy what the script asks it to satisfy. That's the generic, completely three-dimensional query of a database. Let's do this by running the script, and then we'll get back the molecules. So we do this. We've got a script down here that we've prepared that all it does is does a model build. This is pushes a menu button, the model build menu button, and then it does an optimization. We could put into the script what method we're using and the criterion for convergence and all that stuff, but we've sent that in HyperChem, and we're just going to do MM plus calculations, so we're not going to bother to do it here. We've done it already in HyperChem. We could do it here. So we save this script as a, say, test.scr, and then we go and run this script, and it does cycles over these 6 molecules until it's finished. And now we have in the database, we now have the structures for these. For example, this one, we look at the HIN file. It's filled in with real numbers, if you like. We can take that molecule, put it back into HyperChem, for example, and this is an optimized structure. We could see that by doing a single point. Its gradient is less than 0.01, our criterion for the optimization. And so we've optimized this, and the optimized structure is now in the database. We can save this query either to an external database or as a table within the current database. And let's just save this as some table inside the database. So we have done whatever the script wanted us to do over this query on the database, save the results, including the structure, in a new table in this little operation.